What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy Neal. Bye. With another reaction video, guys. Here we are with 5 reasons not to move to Australia. Now, I love Australia, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. I don't know how. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got?
I honestly love Australia, and I feel privileged to call this country my home. I love the urban and natural landscapes, the weather, the love for sports and the outdoors, Australian music, the rich multicultural aspects of society here, and most importantly, the fact that we have the Guinness World Record for the world's largest toga party. But before I start sounding like too much of a patriotic wanker trying to sell you a travel guide, today I wanted to share a few things that don't often get mentioned about Australia, things that aren't quite as good. To be honest, I'm not very well travelled and I've still got a lot to learn. So for many people, this list might sound like complete bullshit and they might completely disagree. But I've tried my hardest to make it sound both unique and interesting, not just the typical stuff like killer snakes and jacked up kangaroos. So if you ever are thinking of moving to Australia from another country, here are 5 things that you should know before you come. Reason 1. Australians are friendly, but not friends. On the whole, Australians are quite nice and friendly people. To be honest, one of my favourite things about Australians is that we love saying hello and chatting to random people on the street.
Hey mate, what are you up to? Huh? That is a really nice leaf blower. What? It's a kind of good weather for leaf blowing today. You can really get the leaves around and yeah, it's perfect. Who are you?
Actually, a Polish friend once said to me that Australians are friendly but not friends. Now, what he meant by that was that Australians are quite nice to new people that they meet, but it is actually quite difficult for foreigners to establish deep friendships with Australians, especially if English is not their first language. And to be honest, I tend to agree. I know many people from Europe, South America and Asia who all tend to say the exact same thing.
อยากมีนะคะแต่ส่วนใหญ่จะเป็นเพื่อนที่โรงเรียนเป็นต่างชาติมากกว่าถ้าออสเตรเลียโดยกำเนิดยังไม่มี
มีเพื่อนเป็นคนออสเตรเลียไหมครับ
ถ้าบอลเฮียที่นี่มีค่ะมีคนหนึ่ง
มีเหรอ
ไม่มีครับต้องบอกก่อนว่าเพื่อนส่วนใหญ่ที่เป็นออสซี่เนี่ยจะเป็นเอเชียที่เป็นบอลเฮีย
From my observations,
I feel like America was the same in a sense. Whereas you're friendly, you say hi to people, you know what I'm saying? You make small talk with people, but actual friendship to form, it doesn't happen often. I feel like really the way I formed my friendships were through school or through work. Like I make work friends, and I got friends that I know from school and friends that I met in college. But outside of that, I mean, those are just the places to make friends, I guess. And I did form great friendships with many people. But there's a lot of people, I mean, you just small talk with strangers, but it doesn't mean that a friendship is going to come out of it.
ที่เป็นออสซี่เนี่ยจะเป็นเอเชียที่เป็นบอลเฮีย
From my observations, Australians tend to stick to their own clique or their own group, which makes it quite difficult for foreigners moving here to make local friends. But don't be discouraged because it's definitely possible. You might just have to put yourself out there a little bit more. Reason 2. There's just too many rules.
Really?
Australia is a safe country with relatively low crime rates and a good welfare system compared to many other countries. But if you're the type of person who doesn't like too many rules in their life, then Australia probably isn't the right place for you.
Oh, gotta have your helmet.
Whoa, stop right there. Riding without a helmet. $300 fine.
$300? $300? Oh, I understand riding without a helmet illegal, but $300? God dang! I ain't even got a speeding ticket worth that much. And I'm talking about, I done been pulled over speeding like 15, 20 over the limit. Don't do the jaywalk. Not the jaywalk.
Run. Are you jaywalking on the red light, sir? That'll be a $75 fine, please.
$75? That's bullshit!
Excuse me, do you have a fishing license?
Sorry, officer, no, I don't.
Fishing without a fishing license. That will be a $200 fine.
Oh, $200? That's
swearing at an officer. You're under arrest, mate.
What? No! Hey! You often hear many people refer to Australia as a nanny state. Now, personally, my life is probably too boring and not illegal enough for many of these rules to affect me too much.
Yeah.
But it definitely is an issue that starts a lot of very heated debates here.
I was gonna say tickets are expensive, but I mean, if you know the rules, guys, you can't be upset when you get fined for breaking them. You know the rules. You either follow them or you don't. And if you choose not to, then you better not get caught. If you get caught, you gotta pay the consequences. So I don't disagree. I mean, they are high tickets, but I don't disagree with them because people know better. You know the rules.
Reason 3, slow internet speeds. For a country that invented Wi-Fi, Australia has pretty shit internet speeds. I often have Thai people tell me that, ti Australia net ko cha na, ti Thai ko reo kwa. And that's probably true when you compare a lot of countries to Australia.
Dang.
But to be honest, unless you're trying to run a supercomputer using your home Wi-Fi, then I don't think it's a good enough reason not to move to Australia.
Okay.
Reason 4, tall poppy syndrome. Originally, I was not going to include this point, but screw it. I think it's really interesting and probably relevant to more countries than just Australia. A phrase that often gets used in Australia and New Zealand is tall poppy syndrome, which refers to the cultural phenomenon of people attacking those who are perceived to be better than the norm or cutting down the tall poppy. Now, on one hand, it can be considered quite a good thing because it can instill a sense of equality and humility within the population, such that political leaders, sports stars, and media personalities are not glorified or considered untouchable, which seems to be a little bit more prevalent in a country like the United States. But to be honest, this culture of always being the underdog can hold people back, especially those who lack a little bit of confidence. Now, recently I was watching the Olympics and I noticed a lot of these types of ads.
These dreams we have, be they big or bold,
are within our reach. Reach out, take hold.
Ours is the world if we truly believe.
Now, obviously these ads are used for marketing purposes, but the reality is Australia, from what I've observed, doesn't have a very good culture of starting things, putting yourself out there, or innovation generally, especially amongst young people. And that might be because as a general population, we tend to look at people with new ideas and bring them down rather than support them. In fact, a study of 2,000 Australians in 2018 showed that 53% of people have seriously considered starting their own business or side hustle, but are yet to realise their ambition. And 68% believed Australians had a negative attitude towards ambition. To be honest though, I'm not sure how much this attitude would affect foreigners who wanted to move to Australia, and a lot of the people I've met through doing Thai Talk completely buck this trend. Well, I think you're a lovely story of someone who tried really hard and worked their ass off. And finally,
they gonna love me for my ambition. No, I understand it. I understand the equality part, but also I guess don't like the fact of bringing people down. I would say rise to others' level. I guess that would be my opinion. I'd rather rise to their level than bring them down to where everybody else at. Now it makes it, if you're saying like this person's just like cocky about it and like acting like they're better than everyone and just looking down on everyone, completely understandable from that perspective. You shouldn't look down on anyone, right? But if you're coming from a sense of, you know what I'm saying, they're working hard, they're getting their crap together. For us celebrities who work their whole life, or not athletes, I would say, just for example, who work their entire life, I mean, to be absolutely incredible at their sport. I think to be praised by people and to be looked up to by people, and because you inspire people, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's cool. And here in America, I feel like, yeah, we do definitely glorify celebrities. We definitely glorify athletes to where it's over glorifying. And know what I'm saying? People follow them way too much and know every tiny bit about them. And think that they're God on earth. I understand what you mean by that. But there's also a lot of those people who are inspired by these people and look up to these people, and know what I'm saying? They help. I guess, the ambition in some people. They help some people realize their own ambition, and they go after things because they were inspired by this person. Gosh, I just talked for like a minute, and I feel like I made no sense.
If someone who tried really hard and worked their ass off. And finally, reason 5. It's far away.
Far away! Where they can't find us!
This reason is really obvious and makes me sound like I've run out of ideas. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that Australia is very isolated and a long way away. So if you do plan on coming here, depending on where you're coming from, it might be an expensive and long trip home. Also, don't expect any cheap, short trips to new, interesting and romantic countries every weekend, because New Zealand is the closest country. And that's a 3-hour flight away. But that's not an issue, because there are plenty of amazing and interesting places to explore in Australia, like the Big Banana, the Big Prawn, and the Big Merino. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sure the Tourism Authority of Australia will start sending me hate mail. I know this video doesn't have anything to do with Thailand, but I really enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. So, until next time, I will see you guys very soon.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, we're rolling. Sorry.
Ah, no way! That's bullshit! Too much?
No, I absolutely love that video. But that's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up, and let me know if you agree or disagree with anything you said. It's your boy D Neal, out.